Are you priced out of Orange County, San Diego, or Los Angeles? Or hey, maybe you just want a slower pace of life, a little bit removed from the grid? Well, this week I've got a great video in store for you. What's going on, guys, and welcome to Somewhere in SoCal. My name is Mike Deblack, and on this channel I show you guys what it's like to live somewhere in SoCal. In today's video, I am at the community of Sycamore Highlands in the city of Corona, at this new build community by DR Horton, where they have some awesome stuff going on, great incentives, lots of character, and great convenience. I'm going to get into the details of these houses in a second, but there's a couple things I want you to stick around for. Number one, they have a next-gen, multi-gen house that is available here. It is not modeled, but I got you guys access. So I was able to get you guys in to see. At the end of this video, we'll hop in and see that multi-gen, next-gen option for you guys that is not available to see normally. So I got access to that. We'll hop in these other two models that they've got here. But I want to touch on a couple things. So yes, the next-gen house that's there. We've got houses here with two walk-in closets, a his and hers walk-in closet in the master, which is not common. The other thing, we have one of these houses here with a downstairs master. I know there's people out there like my parents who would love a downstairs master with a two-story house. So lots of really cool, unique things about the floor plans in this community that I am super stoked to show you guys. Another thing I want to point out, every house that I'm going to talk about today, the price includes solar. That is not common at a lot of the new builders. So solar is included in the price of the house. Another really cool thing about this specific community, we're built right behind an already established community. The houses for sale in that neighborhood behind me right there, there's houses going in the mid $900,000. So we are in a mature community, like behind one basically, but we're in a new build community, if that makes sense. So just awesome location. You'll see right behind me here, there's a sports park right here. My son played Little League All-Stars. This is like the actual field we play at. So super cool park. They got baseball field, soccer field, basketball courts. They even have a splash pad. So you're walking distance to a super cool park right there that has a splash pad. I think there's even a skate park there. So if you've got kiddos, teenagers, whatever, really close to an awesome thing there. You go down the street here, you got the like close shopping center with gas, couple of fast food options, grocery store. So really good spot there. And then just 15 minutes away from the main shopping in Corona, where you can have all the restaurants, the movie theater, all that sort of stuff. Another quick incentive I wanted to touch on before we kind of dive into these houses. Yes, they got the free solar, but they've also got some really cool promotional incentive rates. So we got a 4.99% rate on anything that's going to close by September or October. So that's fixed for 30 years, 4.99% interest rate. They also have a special promotion for an ARM program that's 3.875% to get you in the door. So that's a great starting point for the first 7 years, to go ahead and kind of just grant you access to one of these houses in a more financially friendly payment for you, basically. Anyways, so we're gonna hop in these two houses plus that surprise with the multi-gen suite. We'll hop on a map, show you guys what it's like to live here. We go to school, shopping, medical care, things to do, all that sort of stuff. All right. And real quick, before we do that, if you like anything you see in today's video, make sure you go ahead and reach out, whether you want to come out today, tomorrow, next week, next month, whenever. I would love to be your local guide to the area and help you find your somewhere in SoCal, whether it's here or somewhere else. The other thing, this is a show I post every single Saturday at 8 a.m. I think this is like my 92nd or 93rd Saturday in a row that I show up for you guys because I work for you. So if you like this sort of stuff, from between new houses, new communities, showing you guys what it's like to live somewhere in SoCal. If you like the stuff, do the stuff, like, subscribe, tap that notification bell. That way you stay up to date on everything going on in this local area. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this tour started. Alrighty, so we're gonna start this thing off with residence 1983. It's 1,983 square feet. This one's gonna be 3 beds, 2.5 baths, plus a loft, and this one starts at $720,000. Kind of give you a feel for this one from the street. So this has got that Spanish style exterior. As we'll see in a second, they got a couple different exteriors here, and hopefully our surprise later today we'd see maybe a different exterior. So anyway, so we got the Spanish style exterior, you got those double arches, which I love. And then this right here, set up as the sales office right now, but this will be the garage. You don't have to worry about having doors and no garage and all that sort of stuff. So this will be a flat driveway. Even if you buy this house, flat driveway, garage door, all the stuff. So anyways, we'll walk on up to this thing. Double arches, I'm liking that. In this little covered patio porch area. Nice little seating area outside. Truthfully, I was sitting here a second ago, just soaking up the breeze, but get to see some of these views out here. Man, I love it. Love that breeze too. So, all right, we'll walk on into this one. Oh yeah, that AC just smacked right in the face in the best of ways. All right, so right here, you got the nice LVP flooring kind of throughout, as we'll see. They've done a really good job decorating or designing this, entryway wall. Looks like a tile. Well, that is actually a tile. They actually did it for real. I thought it might be wallpaper. So they did it for real. So super nice touch there. Got that mirror. I'll show you this way. But immediately here, you've got your kind of powder room downstairs. So your half bathroom right as we enter here. A nice feature to have, like when you're hosting people that aren't going to stay over and shower and take baths and that sort of thing. So we got our powder room downstairs. Before we get to the main part of the house, we do have that traditional coat closet and movie theater. You can follow me around for a little bit. A little extra storage area there. Throw the kids in the back, turn an iPad, tell them it's a movie theater. You're good to go. All right, we'll go down here and kind of show you the rest of the downstairs. Give you a nice pan. And just a straight shot on this one, really. Anyway, so we've got our living room area right here. Love the area rug, the coffee table, just a really nice, cozy setup to this. Nice decorations. And you got this accent wall here that they've got kind of like with this paneling. It's a super cool touch, and it adds a lot to the space, but it's relatively easy and inexpensive to do. So you don't have to, break the bank to do that. Got the windows there for that natural light slider. Right here we've got our designated dining area. As we head over to the kitchen, I kind of like the white on white with the flooring here. It's like a grayish tan flooring, but you got the naked wall over here, so definitely want to decorate that. All right, so right here we're gonna have our garage access. So right now this is leading to the sales office, but that would be the access to your 2-car garage. And before I get to the pantry, I'll kind of just show you guys what it looks like from here. So like I said, kind of just like a straight shot down here. We have doing your stuff at the island here. All right, your people eating or dining area, and you don't even have to do that dining area, right? This island does have some seats right here. All right, so you could do other things with the space or leave it empty. I think they set it up pretty good the way it is right now. All right, but you got this island that fits 3. So you got 3-person island there. No sink. And the sink's going off to the side over here. So let me go show you the pantry though, before I forget. All right, so pantry right here. Kind of just a standard pantry. Decent enough space. Nothing special, nothing lame. All right, we'll look at the back. Let's do this. Backyard. Will they let me out? They usually don't. They won't. All right, but you got some decent sized lots here. So the lot is humongous. You do have an incline on this particular one. All right. Usually when there's a big incline like that, the builder will kind of get you started there with like the Mr. T starter kit, and then it's on you, but they'll landscape it a little bit. You set up the drip system, but the rest of the backyard is usually just like one sidewalk block, and the rest is all dirt for you to figure out. So you've probably seen some of the drone shots that I've thrown up here. People without their backyards done. All right. Then the other thing, all right, there's no covered patio here, but if you look up at that house up there, all right, they're like actually getting it built today. They're adding on the covered patio up there, so definitely an option. But anyways, let's go ahead and go upstairs. You see the nice handrail there. All right, real quick, as I'm walking upstairs, the camera on me. All right, just want to remind you guys that this is a show I post every single Saturday at 8 a.m. So if you like the sort of stuff where we're doing new houses, new communities, showing you what it's like to live somewhere in SoCal. If you like the stuff, do the stuff, like, subscribe, tap that notification bell. That way you stay up to date with everything going on in this local area. Anyways, we have reached the top of the stairs to our little loft area. Nice little spot up here. Great use of space. They kind of made it more of a kiddie spot. I'm gonna sit down here and grab a breather. I was gonna kick my feet up, but I'm not tall enough. That's a little too far away. All right, anyways, all right. So you got the TV set up there, like a homework station over here. I'm really liking this like shelving desk type thing against the wall. It's super cool. Oh, and the book. There's a book. I'm a nerd, guys. I used to be a teacher. Love the educational stuff. Anyways, all right, so we got this little open area where they put this like dresser console thingy. Get that big old window right there. All right, I'm gonna skip the master. Let's head down this hallway. Heading on down, we'll turn to the right. And we've got a bedroom right here. All right, we do have the 8-foot ceilings upstairs. Nice little design here. We got the fox, the badger, and the squirrel. So we got like an animal theme. It's like the wild thornberries. Like dating myself. Anyways, we'll spin this thing around. Totally digging this like safari animal theme and decorations. Pretty cool. Good spot for the TV there. Windows looking out to the front of the house. Views, oh my gosh. All right, turn it this way. Kind of just to show you the sliding glass. Oh, wow, sliding glass. Sliding wooden closet doors. Holy smokes. All right. Okay, so got the laundry room here. Hanging cabinet, the shelves, racks, all the stuff. Brains of the house here. Then you got like that wood like flooring up here, kind of just to match. All right, but just before that, there was a linen closet that I kind of passed over. So my family, we have for the linen, obviously we use the linen closet. At our old house, we had so many linen closets and so many games. Let me just turn this around and talk to you. We love board games. Like we do game nights, family game nights all the time. Whenever we have our family come out from LA, like there's like 15, 20 people playing board games. We freaking love it. So we have so many games that we would kind of just put them. We have one of these linen closets for like our game closets. So in our new house, we don't have this. So we have like a cabinet in the garage. Anyways, just giving you some inside info on me and my life and my likes. Anyways, all right. So right here, we got our next bedroom. All right, we've got, this one feels decent. Just a different orientation or layout with kind of the furniture in here. So you got the 2 nightstands or dressers there. Like this bed is just pushed against the wall. Kind of looks like a couch slash bed. There's probably some term for it, but I forget, I don't know. I like the color of that dresser. Pretty cool. So nice little pop of color there with the plant and adding life to the area. Got your closet doors there. And then right here we got our window looking out to the front of the house. All right, and then we've got bathroom at the end of the hallway here. So this one's 2.5 bed. Oh, remind myself right now. Let's go, Michael. All right, we got 2.5 bedroom or 2.5 bathrooms here. So this is the first full one upstairs. Wish it had like the dual sinks here. It doesn't. Oh well. All right, we got the powder room downstairs. Then you got this one right here. You get the shower tub combo. All the stuff, all the normal stuff. All right, just for my liking, missing one sink. All right, we'll walk back this way and we'll head over to that master bedroom. All right, so we get into the master here and wow, this is nice. I like it. All right, so I love this little decoration, like the anchors or chains or something. It looks like a nautical thing, a wooden chain. All right, and then you got the master bedroom right here. So it's kind of a straight shot from this little hallway that leads to the bathroom, but got this nice big window looking into your backyard. I should say windows looking into your backyard. Love this little like paneling and shelf thing. Super cool. Like that a lot. Oh, that's really cool. All right, just focusing on the design piece, the furniture here. I like that. Where it's like see-through there. Super cool. Just spin this thing around. Good setup for the TV right there. That dresser. I really like the way they decorated this room. Curtains there too. Giving you an extra little flavor on this one. All right, well anyways, we'll walk on over to the master bathroom. All right, but first, oh, another thing I love. You've got his and hers closets. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right. All right, the reason I love this is because my wife, like she thinks, I promise you guys, I am not messy. I'm like one of the cleanest dudes there is. But for whatever reason, she always thinks my closet's a mess. I have a couple hundred hats. All right, and I've got a few dozen pairs of shoes. So like when those are organized, it still looks a little bit, you know, not as clean as she would like. So I like having my own closet space. So love when the houses have separate closets, so separate walk-in closets here. So I'm not gonna do like my spin test for you guys. All right, but we've got some super cool stuff here. So closets there. We'll walk further on back. You see it changes from carpet to wood right here. That wood-like LVP. All right, holy smokes, this is like a it's a long walk to the toilet there. All right, so we got our throne area there. I do like that pop of color and that little like curtain thingamajig up top. And then right here, boom, we've got the main area. So you got the his and her sinks right here, the drawers, the cabinets, medicine cabinet, mirror, all the stuff. Got a pretty decent sized shower there. I do like how it has like the glass door right? Versus kind of some of those have the slider. So I like the glass door versus that. One thing that this is missing, I not really got a full bench area. You could be like leg up there or something, but I like when I have a bench. All right, and then you do have this vanity area right there. So once again, these places have room for a bathtub and a shower. You would think in the master they'd want both, but I mean, I know it's cheaper just to do like this. So anyways, whoopsies. All right, that wraps this one up. All right, I was surprised by those closets there. And that's a huge bonus for me. So anyways, this was Residence 1983. It's 1,983 square feet. We have 3 beds, 2.5 bathrooms, this pretty sweet loft up here. And this one right here starts at $720,000. So next up, we've got Residence 2537. It's 2,537 square feet. This one right here is going to be 5 bedrooms plus a bonus room. We got 3 baths. This one is currently sold out, but they do have more coming, and we're expecting these to be in the high 800s. All right, the last one they sold was at $879,000. All right, this one's just got some really awesome curb appeal on it. Nice stairs as we walk on up here. There's planters and everything like that. All right, now those are kind of upgrades here. All right, your house isn't going to come with those stairs. I got a nice driveway with these hills. That's one of the things I like about this community. Anyways, walk on up into this. Walking up, I love this little entrance here with these pillars and stuff like that. Got a nice elongated little coverage here as we walk on up, and just super peaceful. So you know, these are going to be less mature when you get the house, this plants and stuff like that, but really nice setup and kind of just a taste of what this community could look like from your porch. Love the views, how close we are to the clouds. Little story, I always tell my kids, you know, when the clouds are this low, that we live this close to heaven. So just like a nice little tidbit there. Anyways, we'll walk on into this one. Oh, that AC feels so nice. There's a little bit of a breeze out. The AC feels amazing. All right, so just give you kind of a straight shot down here. All right, like the flooring they've got selected here, and kind of just the way they decorate everything. So it's a lot different when you see like the spec homes out in the field and they're all empty and naked, and you get some good inspiration here from these designers. The designers do an awesome job with all these models. So we'll turn to the right here. We've got bedroom number 1. Pretty good sized room right here. Wallpaper on that wall. With the 9-foot ceilings down here. Window looking out to the front. Closet doors over there. Nice, just a nice little spot at the front of the house. All right, if you don't need it, it's a great guest room. All right, if you don't need it for, I guess, someone living with you. Then across from that, we've got our kind of downstairs guest, I call it the guest bathroom, but bathroom number 1. I got the walk-in shower, the sliding glass doors, little bench in there, ledges and stuff. But other than that, kind of just your normal deal. Normal downstairs, you got the medicine cabinet, big old mirror. All right, and then one thing I'll point out, just remember there are going to be doors here. They just don't want kiddos slamming. So, and that little entryway is awesome. I love it. All right here we're going to have, boom, we got our coat closet / movie theater kind of going under the stairs here. So lots of storage and kind of just that traditional coat closet that a lot of builders have with that rack. I'll go up the stairs in a minute. Walk further on back into the, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Holy smokes. I love it. So DR Horton does a lot of these where they have this beam. That is, I don't even think they offer that, but it's just such a nice touch. And I think I've seen those. You can get those on Amazon or something like that. Just a nice like wood-like piece to go up there to add a lot of character. Right? A lot of people complain that some of these houses are cookie cutter or whatever, but DR Horton does a pretty good job with all their stuff. Holy smokes! And we got a surprise. We got the downstairs master. Looks like on this one. So got a nice little entryway, cabinet, landing area there. I'm just going to start off with the master, guys. I can't hold my excitement. All right, so we've got a downstairs master. Got the 2 windows looking out to the back, letting natural light in. Like the wallpaper back there for that accent wall. You got the lights hanging down. Really cool setup with how they decorated this one. right, anyways, I'll spin it around for you. Perfect setup for the TV right there. Plenty of space in this one. Walk on over this way into the master bathroom. All right, one thing I'll point out is there will be no door thing here. You could probably do like a barn door or something, but door is typically not included between the master bathroom and bedroom. All right, but we do have the his and her sinks there. The drawers, the cabinets, all the stuff, giant mirror, got the medicine cabinet off to the side. Then we do have our walk-in shower here. All right, biggest complaint, like I feel it too, but you guys tell me in the videos is how does a master bathroom not have a bathtub? I get it, all right? I'm a bath guy, all right? I think they need to have the bathtub, but some builders just don't do it. So I don't know if these guys include it or not. I think most of the time DR Horton does not. All right, so you're gonna get a setup like this where you got that glass shower, you got this little vanity area, which is set up super nice, right? But you can totally squeeze in a bathtub here if they really wanted to. All right, I'll spin this around for you, show you this throne area right here. And then we've got our walk-in closet. Lots of space in here. So you got the racks, the shelves for hanging, all the stuff. All right, I am gonna do my spin test. All right, there's like the fake clothes hanging there that I'm hitting. All right, but yeah, passes the spin test here. So let's go in and see the rest of this downstairs area. Walking over here. So you wake up in the morning, get out of your stuff, get ready for your day, and you come out to this. This is such an awesome view. I'm really liking and digging like the color palette here with, you know, this giant area rug and like the blacks and the grays and the tans and the beiges, and I think it flows so nice. So got a nice view of our living room here with this L-shaped couch against that window. Once again, guys, just lots of natural light coming into this. We'll check out the backyard in a minute, but super nice feel to this downstairs. And around we've got our designated dining area right here, and they do have you might be able to turn some of those lights into like maybe they're fans or chandeliers or whatever you can bring down. And then we've kind of got our kitchen area right here. We got a little island. All right, they've got 3. You might be able to squeeze 4, but I think 3 is probably the number there. And then one thing that I always love to point out, no island here, so it's really good for entertaining. You can be chilling on the island here, charcuterie board, chips and dip, whatever. All right, you got the view of the TV there. You got your dining area over here. And if you need to wash dishes and do that stuff, boom, right behind you. All right, so cabinets. And they got the extended backsplash on this one. The underlighting over there. So, cool little feel to this guy. Fridge. Pretty nice job decorating that little naked wall there. That could be, I guess you do have the thermostat and security stuff over there. So. Anyways, let's go down this little mini hallway. Coffee station. All right, we got our laundry room downstairs. So because the master's downstairs, they do typically put the laundry room on the same level as the master. So you got the hanging shelf up there, the rack, washer dryer hookups. Looks like we're gonna have the electrical dryer hookup there. Electric dryer needed. And then this right here is really the brains of the house. That's your Wi-Fi router and that sort of stuff. There's a decent laundry room there. All right, across from that, we got a pantry. All right, I think these pantries are truthfully a little small for the size of the house, but whatever. All right, we're gonna have our garage access right here. You got this little like entryway from the garage. So that's kind of the downstairs here, and it's really impressive as you walk into this one. But anyways, let's go ahead and head upstairs. All right. Now you're gonna either get the pony wall, which is kind of the straight, you know, drywall type look all the way down, or you get this upgraded handrail. Obviously a very, very nice touch to have that. So we'll go on upstairs here. That's a landing, and for more inspiration, guys, just to kind of take your house to that next level. When you guys get it, just the little design features they got. Decorating these walls adds so much. All right, so we'll head on up these stairs, and we've got, wow, really, really good sized loft up here. So a great secondary living area. Love the way they set this thing up. So we do have the carpet upstairs, which, you know, you would have in your house too. A lot of these builders will put wood in the models upstairs, and that's not really an option unless you want to spend like an arm and a leg. All right. Cool kids live here. A nice setup. I'll show you guys upstairs here. windows, lots of windows and natural light. Right, anyways, walk on down this hallway. I'll go to the right. We got this bathroom 3 basically, right? So our upstairs bathroom for all the bedrooms that are up here. A nice wood-like flooring here. All the normal stuff. Shower tub combo, dual sinks, toilet, all that. All right, across the hall, I like that little light fixture there. Got our basically bedroom number 3, the second secondary bedroom. All right, I wish that light was on. You glow, girl, and then I don't got it glowing. Anyways, like this wallpaper print there. All right, up here the ceilings are going to be 8 feet. You can notice here, that is a really cool light fixture, or whatever mirror light thingy. And then once again, just some of these views you'll be able to enjoy from this neighborhood. All right, next to that, we got our next bedroom. This is what, bedroom 4-ish technically. All right, or 3 of the secondaries. This is an average size room, it feels like. The bed's a little tinier, and you got these nightstands or dressers on the side, like that shelf above. And you got a perfect setup for a TV there. I think adding these plants does a lot to these houses too. And greenery, it's super cool. All right, and then this one's gonna have this little like pop-in, walk-in closet type thing. A little extra space in there. Before we head across the hall, there's a closet here. Probably just a linen closet at the end. And then boom. All right, we got our little football room here. All right, so those look like Tom Brady on those pictures. And we'll walk on in. Actually, just had my fantasy football draft last night. I'm a huge fantasy sports guy, or fantasy football. Anyways, so a little football theme here. Super cool, unique setup to this one. Not the most optimal setup for a TV. You might want to put it on this wall over here and like rearrange things because I'm not going above the closet. Anyways, that window looks off to the side of the house. You have those sliding wooden closet doors over here. I'll give you a little feel of what this looks like from this corner. All right, like crawl space thingy up there. So anyways, so a little bit different with me not having like the master bedroom to end on upstairs like I usually do. So that wraps this one up. Again, this right here was residence 2537. It's 2,537 square feet. We have 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, plus this amazing bonus room / loft. Lots of space here for the secondary living room. This one right here, as I said earlier, is temporarily sold out, but we are expecting this from the high 800s, so we'll call it $879,000. All right, so this is the moment you've all been waiting for. That's why you stuck around to the end of this video. All right, we are about to step into their multi-gen or next-gen house. All right, they've got a few of these as D.R. Horton throughout the Inland Empire. All right, this one's kind of the middle of the pack as far as size goes on the multi-gen suite. So right behind me right here, we've got residence 2617. It's 2,617 square feet. We're gonna have 3 beds plus the loft, 2.5 bathrooms. You got the extra living suite with another bathroom over there. And this one right here, all right, this exact house behind me is going for $890,000. All right, before we dive into it, just want to kind of show you what this one is like. So obviously we're gonna go into the house, but kind of just the location of this one. Truthfully, they're begging to get rid of it, so we could probably get lower than the price they just told me. But they call this one a view lot. So you got kind of this is kind of what your front yard would look like a little bit. But you see, this is just a massive lot right here. Then you got views of these mountains. You're basically just living in nature. Just a really awesome feel there. And then as we come down this kind of sloped driveway, all right, they're still building out the rest of the street, but you'll see, all right, so cool little spots over there to go into like the wilderness or whatever. All right, and then down this hill, there's kind of this cool little view here. It feels like you're living, when I say the high life, like you're living up in the air a little bit. Anyway, so we got the next gen suite thing here. All right, so we got our garage. I guess would be a good opportunity to show you what the garage looks like. Okay, so we've got the 2-car garage plus a little space in the back there. So nothing too crazy. And you're gonna have, service door off the side over there, and then the entrance to the house over there. But what I do want to show you is kind of just the house itself, the showcase of this video. So normal entrance to the house right here, and we'll have the next gen entrance kind of around the side. So they've got their own separate entrance. See if they'll let me in. This one, I don't know if it's unlocked or not. It's locked. All right, so show you to the front, but I just want to show you there is a separate side entrance there. Walk on up here, and this one's not completely done. All right, we got a nice little entranceway here, but this is a good representation of what is available out there as far as how these houses come. So you see like the flooring throughout right here. Just a really good idea. So walking up, all right. I'll turn to the left first. I'm just gonna start in the next gen spot for you guys. All right, so I'll explain everything. So this was that entrance I tried to get in. So let's pretend to open this up, right? Boom, you walk in, and this is kind of your next gen suite, like living room area. So you got a little kitchenette over there. You know, just set up for a dining table, the TV on the wall over there. They got it pre-set up with that Smurf wire stuff. Like this natural light, there's windows right at the front of the house. All right, but you get kind of just a cool little feel right here. You got the countertops, the extended backsplash. Looks like you can put like a dishwasher down there. Cabinets, microwave, all the stuff. All right. Walk further on down this. And then right here we got like a closet for a stackable washer and dryer. Basically a laundry closet. All right, then right here we've got like the next gen bedroom. All right, so you do the 9-foot ceilings down here. All right, we have the next gen bedroom right here. So obviously the bed goes in here, all that good stuff. You got the closet there. Then you have this like side door to the backyard, which I'll get to in a second. So it comes with this glass door. You feel for this bedroom. All right, you got your ensuite bathroom right here. Sliding glass doors there. You do have the nice bench inside the shower. Ledge over there. And you got the medicine cabinet. I'll give you a peek on the outside. Nothing too special or crazy here, but you got a little like ledge there, and then that goes around to the side of the house. Not super cool to have the sprinkler system right outside this window, but whatever. All right, so we got that. Some lights, the dimmers and the switches and the slides. All right, but the one thing I want to point out, so this is the next gen spot. You have your own, like from here, turn this way is like the next gen suite of the house. All right. Now, if you're someone who is going to be like friends and family with the person that's living in this unit, cool. Maybe you keep that door there, right? Where you can have this door and you have the lock and you have mutual access, or, you know, whatever you're going to do there basically, right? Another option, if you're going to use this as like a rental unit, you have to check the HOA because some HOAs don't allow this to be rented out, but you can live in the gray, do what you do. You know what I mean? All right. People are going to do what they're going to do. Anyways, you could just wall this off right here, and there's a whole separate living unit. So just something to think about there. All right. Anyways, so as we get back into the main part of the house, all right, we already covered the hallway. All right. And then right before you get to the next gen little wall door, whatever you're going to do there, we do have this powder room. All right, so you got a little powder room right here. You can see the smart lighting there. Just waving my hand and it turned on. All right, so yeah, powder room, sink, toilet, mirror. All right, across the way over here, we got our garage access, which I showed you a little bit earlier. And then we got our little coat closet here with storage under the stairs. And then with these ones that aren't really modeled, other than explaining the next gen part, I'm kind of just gonna quickly show you. All right, so this is the open living area right here. So this would be like the TV goes. These are already pre-wired. You just don't have cords hanging down and stuff like that. So that's very convenient. Just a really big space right here. I'll show you the backyard in a minute, but you know, can in the model, if they modeled this, they'd probably have the dining set up right there. And obviously you've got kitchen, pretty good sized island. You could definitely fit 4 there. And then still, you know, there's no sink in the middle of it. So perfect entertaining spot. You can hang out on the island, watch football games or whatever you watch. I think The Bachelor's coming back on. My sister told me The Bachelor's coming back on. So football, The Bachelor, whatever your cup of tea is, hang out, have a party and watch. Lots of natural light there. All right, you got your fridge set up right here. Pantry. And there's the downstairs. I do want to show you the backyard on this one. Did I mention the extended backsplash? Well, I didn't. There it is again. All right, and then the backyard on this one. kind of a weird shape to this backyard, but it is massive. All right, so we got, let me just pan and show you. Lots of space here, and I'll go around the side and show you how it wraps around. But when I tell you guys it's a blank canvas, usually at all these new builds, and so you like a sidewalk block, that's what you get, and it's up to you to do the rest. So they typically spray some sort of material here to let make sure the dirt doesn't fly around. All right, so it's a little more compacted and stable. All right, we got vinyl fencing on the side here. You are gonna have this like block-like fencing on the back because this is the edge of the community. All right, but guys, views. Oh, holy smokes! If you're a person for nature, this is the community for you. Right, look at those. You're living in the hills and mountains. Amazing views. Nice sized backyard. You can even put like a deck off the back or a patio off the back. And it comes off the side over here. And you see lots of space on the side of the house as well. I almost wish the next gen was like flipped. That way that person would have like their own yard if you were going to use it as a rental. So I think you'd want it to be. Anyway, let's go on in, head upstairs and just quickly walk through that one. And look, there's a little, I don't know if you can see it, a little lizard. Anyways. So we'll go on up. This one comes with the upgraded handrail stuff there. I'm going to take out that one and this one. I probably have it in the other ones too, so I may have misspoke earlier in the video. There might be like a normal thing here. There's a walk on upstairs. And we've got nice loft area right here. You have a like cut out there. That's going to be the master. We'll check that out in a sec. Here we got bedroom. All right, so the first bedroom upstairs is for the normal part of the house. Once again, just doing kind of a quicker walkthrough up here because there's not a model. It's not as sexy to look at. All right. Walk down this hallway. We're going to have our laundry room right there. Maybe you get the option for both gas or electric for the dryer. If you call me, I'll let you know. We'll find out. All right, then right here we're gonna have, oh, this is cool. Like a walk-in linen closet, storage closet. A little more space than I'm used to. Got a bathroom up here, got the one sink. Yeah, normal stuff. Another bedroom here. Ceilings upstairs. I'll show you kind of what's behind this up there. A big drop off behind that brick wall, a block wall, but yeah, that's kind of what's behind there. A bit of a fall, but there's not really much back there. Anyways, all right, so let's go back. Oh yeah, I showed you guys that already. All right, let's go this way, and let's go to the master bedroom. So a little bit of separation. All right, so we got. Kind of confusing. So there's a, it's hard to see when there's a cutout there. All right, I'm gonna cut out and kind of show you what the rest of the room looks like. So you probably put your headboard back there, TV probably right where this little cutout is. All right, but a pretty decent sized master bedroom. And you walk into the closet, with the bathroom over here. I will go in the closet. Holy smokes, this is a large walk-in closet. So lots and lots of space in here. This it feels almost like another bedroom practically, right? You got some kids on timeout, you can just throw them in this thing. So spin test approved for the closet here. We'll walk on this way. And you got your little, same as other ones, vanity area, your shower here. No bench again. Oh, I'm not doing that. I don't have a bathtub, at least have a bench, right? Dual sinks, medicine cabinet, giant mirror, all the stuff. And then you do have the throne area right there. So that wraps this one up. All right, the last house we're gonna see today, the multi-gen or next gen, which I know you guys, a lot of you guys love that and specifically asked for. So great opportunity here. This right here was residence 2617. It is not modeled. I got you exclusive access, all right, to this one. So residence 2617, 2,617 square feet, 3 beds, that loft up there, 2.5 baths. Plus the next gen living suite. And this right here is $890,000. All Alrighty, guys. So next up, I'm gonna do what I always do. I'm gonna hop on the map and show you guys what it's like to live here. We'll go over schools, shopping, medical care, things to do, all that sort of stuff. But first, I did want to touch on two quick things. If you stayed this far and you're here for the map video, you are seriously considering buying a home in this area. So I've got an awesome resource for you. Over my shoulder right now, you're gonna see a QR code. All right, that QR code is going to go to a new home website. It's a little portal that I have specifically for my YouTube clients. Okay, so you guys are able to make a free account. They're absolutely free. All right, you just do your email, you can save searches, look at houses for all the new builds, or majority of the new builds I should say, in this whole general area. So you make an account, you're gonna like an automated email. All right, it's not for me, but it's gonna say it's for me. All right, I will probably check in and say, hey, I saw you made an account, let me know if there's anything I can do to help. I'm not gonna be bugging you and like chasing you down and that sort of thing. I'm not that guy. All right, I'm the least salesy salesperson that there is. So it's just an awesome resource for you to kind of organize your search, and you can look at the bedrooms, bath counts, the square footage, townhome, single family, cities, all that kind of stuff, and the various price points. So that's just something that I do for you guys. So it's been helpful for others in the past, and I hope it can help you guys too. So there's that. The other thing, all right, I know there's lots of you who are moving out this way. I'm getting lots of reach outs recently with people who are needing or wanting to possibly sell a home before buying a home out here. So that's something I'm able to help out with as well. I don't only do these new builds. That's just what this channel kind of specializes in and kind of turned into. But if you're someone who needs to sell a house before buying a house, I've got you covered there. I can, do a quick little video report for you just to show you kind of what your house could be worth, what I think it's worth. So I just sold a house down in San Diego for one of you guys. I got one coming on the market up in LA, actually a couple up in LA, and another one coming down in San Diego. So I got lots of different things going on all around to help you guys. So if you want a quick little video, report, there's no pressure to use me at all. All right, just a good little guidance for you because I've done some investing in the past and I comp houses all the time. So it's super quick for me to do, give you a full analysis in like 5 minutes, just tell you what I think your house is worth, what I think the marketing strategy should be for pricing it, and just the different marketing things that I do. If you want to use me to sell your house, awesome. If you don't, no big deal. All right, because I'll help you buy one out this way anyway. So there's that. And if you're just in a different market that's not Southern California, then I can connect you with someone who could assist you out that way. So anyways, enough yapping. Let's get into the map. Alrighty, so where the heck are we? All right, we are in the city of Corona. It's kind of on the southern side of Corona. So you see this little red dot is here. So here's like the main Corona that everyone probably thinks of, where the 91 and the 15 freeways meet. All right, we are kind of south there. So South Corona, way north of Lake Elsinore here. So kind of standalone, but definitely in the city of Corona here, Sycamore Highlands by DR Horton. Okay. As I mentioned earlier during this video, we're really close to lots of different shopping. So if you come in here and just see the community that's here, you got this shopping center down here with the Vons, CVS, all kinds of stuff here. There's a gas station, looks like a Mexican restaurant right there. So lots of different shopping items there. And if we were to go a little bit further north on the freeway, all right, you'll see about 15 minutes north. Okay, so pull up the map here. About 15 minutes north, we are going to be at the crossings at Corona. All right, this is kind of like, it's not like a mall, but it's got like the majority of the shopping type of stuff that you think of when you think of like a big shopping center. So they've got movie theater. You see they got Victoria's Secret here. They got a Kohl's, a Best Buy, Chick-fil-A. That's where I went to lunch today. Wendy's, Sephora. I think there was, I think there's a Planet, I almost said Planet Fatness. Planet Fitness, Chili's, all kinds of different things there. You got Michael's, you've got Target, almost everything you need as far as shopping goes. You got BJ's, so tons and tons of options right here. And if we go a little bit further south, all right, you see that was about 12 minutes away. You got this shopping center here, the Shops at Dos Lagos, some really cool like restaurants, the vibe down here. I didn't get a chance to fly the drone here, but it was super beautiful with very modern buildings. Another movie theater down here. Actually went to this Miguel's for my mom's birthday this year. My son had a baseball game at the park that I mentioned earlier. So as far as shopping and stuff like that, you got that right there in the city of Corona. But if you wanted to go the other direction down to Lake Elsinore, maybe it's a little bit less crowded, and maybe you're coming from San Diego or further south, or you have family down this way. The shopping centers down here in Lake Elsinore, that main little shopping center, is only 15 minutes to the south. So 15 minutes north, you got the Corona main shopping center. 15 minutes to the south, you got the main shopping center in Lake Elsinore. You got Costco, Target, all that kind of shopping, just 15 minutes south. So you really kind of get to pick your poison as far as that goes with the local shopping there. And as far as schools go, we got Todd Elementary School. which is the closest of the kinds of schools there. So it's right in the community, right here, about 3 minutes away, just a little bit north of that sports park I mentioned a little bit earlier. So you got that there. We got El Cerrito Middle School, which is going to be much further. All right, still relatively close. We're just looking, 12 minutes. It's up by those shopping centers further north. And you got Santiago High School for the high school. Santiago High School in Corona, 15 minutes. So that is also up kind of by that shopping center up there, just kind of west of the 15 freeway. So, 15 minutes isn't too shabby for the 3 levels of school. You see that one's the furthest one at 10 miles away. So 15, 16 minutes, 10 miles, not too bad. But that's that as far as school. So school shopping. As far as medical care goes, all right, let's just do a hospital. Corona Regional Medical Center. It's gonna be the main hospital in the area. It's about 20 minutes away. I know there's some hospitals down further south down the 15 as you get into like the Wildemar area where this Cornerstone Church is. Let me just put Kaiser Wildemar because I know there's a few down there. Kaiser Wildemar. That's 20 minutes down to the south, so that's an option there too. So you've got the Kaiser offices in Wildemar. There's also this Southwest Health Inland Valley Hospital. All right, that's right next to the Kaiser facility. So a couple different medical options, whether you go kind of north or south from this location. It's very centralized to Corona and to like Lake Elsinore and everything that's kind of along that 15 freeway. Shopping, medical care, things to do. Actually, let's just do this. Promenade Temecula, just because I always talk about it. Promenade Temecula, the mall down Temecula. We're only about half an hour from that mall. So indoor mall, right, versus that Corona thing is kind of more outdoors. There might be another sort of mall in the Corona area. I'm not super familiar with the mall. There's one kind of up in Riverside as you go up here, but that's going to be further away. So about half an hour from the mall there in Temecula. I guess we'll wrap this one up with just kind of the location to the airport. So I'm gonna go with John Wayne Airport first because I feel some of you guys that are watching this video are probably gonna be commuters into Orange County. All right, so about 45 minutes from the John Wayne Airport. If you're someone who commutes on the 91 freeway or the 15 here, I don't have to stress it to you enough, but if you can swing it, get the fast pass, all right, to skip all the traffic. And yes, it costs money, but it saves the headache. So I go on that thing all the time. Even if it says like $20, I'm going on that thing because I freaking hate traffic. So anyways, most of the time it's pretty affordable, but 45 minutes here just to get to the John Wayne Airport. Let's do Ontario next because I think that might be the next closest airport. So 45 to Irvine. This is actually the closest airport here. All right, so the Ontario Airport, very easy to get in and out of, low security lines, easy to park at, quick in and out. All right, about 35, 40 minutes away. Next up, we'll do San Diego. Ooh, we're kind of in rush hour right now, I'll be completely honest there. All right, we're about an hour and a half from the airport down in San Diego. So that is a bit of a trek, and you see there's lots of red down here. So like I said, it's rush hour right now. I'm doing this at like almost 5 o'clock. Alrighty. So you got that down there. And then we've got, let's do Palm Springs. The Palm Springs Airport, same thing, hour 35, hour 40. And then let's do LAX. LAX, same thing, hour 35, hour 40. So John Wayne and Ontario are your best bets as far as airports go. The rest of the stuff, just consider as points of reference in case you're doing something around there. I'll wrap this thing up with fun little things to do. Let's do La Jolla Shores Beach, closest beach, about an hour and 25 there. Oceanside Pier down in San Diego, hour and 10. Let's go Dana Point Harbor in Orange County. It's about an hour away. I kind of think we might get the Huntington Beach Pier. Let's do Huntington Pier. Huntington Beach Pier is an hour and 15 minutes away from this location. Not too shabby. And then we'll do Disneyland. Wrap up with something fun. All right, it says 54 minutes right now. Once again, it's rush hour. When I was actually at the community, I was thinking about mentioning Disneyland in my opening intro thing, and it was 45 minutes away, so the traffic's pushing at 10 minutes. So about 45 minutes to an hour from Disneyland. Anyways, let's head back to the community and wrap this one up. All right, so that wraps this video up. This was Sycamore Highlands by D.R. Horton in the city of Corona. I went ahead and showed you guys 3 of the 4 floor plans they've got, including this surprise house that I was able to get you in. All right, that's not modeled here, guys. I was able to get exclusive access to this live house that is available. That's that next-gen, multi-gen style living. So that's the house that we just saw. So anyways, showed you 3 of the 4 floor plans. All right, I do have that fourth floor plan on film. All right, I can get that to you if you reach out and ask for it. So if you liked anything you saw today, make sure you go ahead and reach out, whether you want to come out today, tomorrow, next week, next month, whenever. I would love to be your local guide to the area and help you find your summer in SoCal, whether it's here or somewhere else. All right, and speaking of here, you can just see all this opportunity available. All right, I'm able to get in and get some really good deals on this stuff. All right, so yes, these these houses are priced nicely. You know, I already mentioned earlier that there's resale houses in this neighborhood right down the street for over $900,000, and you can get these for under 800, under 900. So very good value here. All right, and they do include the price of solar on them, so just an added value there all around. All right, as far as this community goes, super nice community, built into the hills. All right, as far as HOA goes, we're looking at $170 a month at build out. All right, truthfully, it doesn't offer a whole lot, just community landscaping and that sort of stuff. But they do have those, they're building like a tot lot and walking trails and stuff like that right around the corner here. So you're really just tucked into nature here. You got great convenience. You got the shopping center right at the bottom of this hill. You got the sports park right around the corner. Really close access to Dos Lagos Shopping Center and the I think it's called Crossings at Corona. So lots of stuff, super close. Great freeway access. If you need to get into Orange County, all right, we're like 45-ish minutes away. Down into San Diego, not too far. So whatever your commuting needs are, if you're someone who needs a commute for work, this is a great spot, all right, to keep whatever job you've got, but to not have to pay an arm and a leg to be in San Diego or Orange County or LA. So convenience all around on this one. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. All right, a couple things before I go. Number one, like I said, if you like anything you see, make sure you go ahead and reach out. My phone number is gonna be on the screen right now, whether you're talking about today, tomorrow, next week, next month, whenever. The other thing, this is a show I post every single Saturday at 8 a.m. where I tour these new houses, new communities, and show you guys what it's like to live somewhere in SoCal. So if you like the stuff, do the stuff, like, subscribe, tap that notification bell. That way you stay up to date on everything going on in this local area. Anyways, YouTube's gonna put a video over this shoulder. If you liked this video, you're probably gonna like that one, and I'll see you in there.